You ever feel like you can't express yourself without being misunderstood? Maybe your woman dismisses what you say. Maybe she flips around what you're saying and uses it against you. Or maybe it's just frustrating because she just doesn't get what you're saying. In this video, I'm going to help you figure out why it's so hard for you to express yourself without being misunderstood. I'm not sure how old you are watching this video. One thing I notice, especially when guys make comments or guys make their own videos or just whatever it is when it comes to communication, one thing I noticed is a lot of these guys use slang, lingo, and not everybody understands what you're saying. If I can't understand what you're saying, then what makes you think that your woman can understand what you're saying? And I get it. You may be saying, hey, we've been together for a long time. She can understand me and what I'm saying. She understands my jokes. However, there's a part of her that does not understand you because maybe you think that you are speaking clearly. Maybe you think that you're expressing yourself and it's logical and it makes sense, but maybe it's not. Maybe it's not. But I want to tell you the reason why a lot of women, they misunderstand you when you're trying to express yourself. Sometimes it's because they don't want to understand you. Sometimes the women do not want to understand you because it's in their benefit to act like, oh, I don't understand what you're saying. They understand what you're saying. They get you. But sometimes they want to act like they don't, just to get you to jump through hoops, just to play games with you, just to see if you're going to pass her test or not. That's what some women do, because sometimes they enjoy seeing you get frustrated. They enjoy seeing you doing mental gymnastics and getting frustrated because it's funny. It's something so simple, and yet she's pretending that she doesn't understand you and she misunderstands what you're saying, but she's not. Now, sometimes, going back to what I said before, sometimes the way you're communicating is not effective. Are you communicating out of anger? Are you being aggressive? Are you being passive? Are you taking jabs? Are you saying things when you're not in a good mood? Are you in a good mood doesn't necessarily mean because you're angry. Sometimes not being in a good mood because you're afraid or you're sad or you are very passive. And when you try to talk to her, the message doesn't come through clearly because you're not presenting it the right way, especially at the right time. And a lot of times it can be the opposite. Maybe you are explaining and expressing yourself very clear, but maybe you're explaining and expressing yourself at the wrong time for her. And what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is maybe she's upset. Maybe she's in a bad mood. Maybe she's sad. Maybe she's angry. You have no idea unless you ask her, unless you know what type of mood she's in. Regardless of what you say, it's not going to get through to her. It's just not going to get through to her. So to be able to express yourself and make sure she understands you, be clear on your message without any emotion. Just be clear. What exactly are you trying to get through to her? What are you trying to tell her? And don't wrap it up in emotions, because the moment you wrap it up in emotions, guess what? That triggers her emotions. And when your emotions all wrapped up with you're trying to say, and she's emotional, there's a disconnect. There's a disconnect. There just is. And when there's a disconnect, you're never going to be able to get your point across. You're never going to be understood, and it's always going to frustrate you. Now, I don't know exactly what you're trying to get to her. I don't know exactly what you're trying to express to her. But one thing I will tell you is when it comes to women, you always want to make sure that you validate her. Now, let me be clear what I mean by that. I don't mean kiss her ass. I don't mean sucking up to her. I don't mean being passive. What I mean by is letting her know that you understand where she's coming from and where she's at. It's very important that you do that because that's part of leadership. That's part of being a man. And when I was a leader in the military, I always met my Marines where they were at. I didn't expect them to be right here. I always met them where they were at so I can connect with them and they could see, okay, this guy gets me. I can open up to him. I can trust him. And I'm willing to listen. I'm willing to be led because he gets me. And that's the same thing with your woman. You have to meet her where she's at, validate her. Okay, I understand this. I understand that. You're feeling this way. You're feeling that way. That's okay. I get it. I get you. I'm telling you, when you meet a woman where she's at and you validate her, her defenses come down because they are emotional. Women are emotional, but when you meet them where they're at, the defenses come down. And it's really about shifting her perspective. And I want to give you an example. Think about a quarter or just any coin, right? A coin has how many sides? 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever. No, it has 3 sides. You have one side, you have the other side. So you have heads and tails. And then you have that side that is in between heads and tails. That side that it never lands on when you flip it for heads or tails, right? So it has 3 sides. So what does this mean? Okay, the quarter, 3 sides. What the fuck do you mean? This is what I mean. She's on one side, you're on the other side. If you want her to see your perspective and your point of view, you have to go to her side and meet her where she's at. And that's by validating what she's saying. That's by meeting her where she's at. And when you do that, it's your job to bring her over to your side. See, a lot of people, they like to meet in the middle, which is great. But if she's not even trying to meet in the middle, that lets me know that either she's being defensive, she's playing games, or you're not really validating her. But when you validate her, you get her to move a little bit more towards the middle. And the middle is the in between. Like I said, you got heads and tails and you got the middle. That's getting her to that side. Now, once she's in the middle, she's more susceptible to listening to you. She's more open to hearing what you have to say. But in order to get her to hear your side of you or your point of view and to really express yourself and be understood, you have to bring her all the way over. If she's not already in the middle, you got to do a little bit more work. And if this is a relationship, then it is worth it. It is worth putting in the effort and putting in the work. Now that you understand, you can't make any excuses. Now that you understand that, hey, maybe I don't ever validate her words. Maybe I shut her out. Maybe I communicate when I'm in a bad mood. Maybe I communicate when she's in a bad mood. But being a leader is, like I said, meeting her where she's at, understanding her perspective, validating her words, and bringing her over to your side. And now when you bring her over to your side, now you can clearly show her this is what I'm talking about. She gets that you get her point of view. She gets that you validate her. So why not go to, he gets my side. Cool. Let me go over to his side and understand where he's coming from, his point of view. And that is going to help you when it comes to her misunderstanding you. And if she's not willing to come to your side and understand your perspective, she is playing games. She's testing you. Like I said earlier, she's just testing you. But once you see that she's not testing you and she's not playing games, then you have that responsibility to be a leader and just show her exactly your perspective and what you're talking about and getting your point across. Cool, calm, and collective. No emotions. So hope this makes sense. Hope you can dial this in and take action on what I said. Make sure you subscribe, give this video a thumbs up so it can push it out to more men just like you who want to understand more about their relationship and get out of that frustration and be respected. But until next time, you have an outstanding one and you take care.